Hello and welcome to Take the Lead. I'm your host, Jan Marino, and today we're going to talk about health and fitness, which are really close to my heart because as I've told you before, I believe that the baby boomer and that our whole generation, we're living longer, we're not retiring when we said we were going to. And so what does that mean for our bodies? What does that mean for our spirits? What does that mean for our health? And in my mind, if you're going to live to be 90, that means you're going to have to be able to walk. That's what I think. So what I decided was I would invite a local fitness expert, a health expert in Chicago, and her name is Andrea Metcalf, and she's agreed to join us today. And I'm really excited because she is a local celebrity, has been on Fox News, and has a lot of information she's going to share today with us. So welcome.
Thank you, Janet. Thanks for letting me be here. This is a big time in our lives. You know, once we start getting over the 40 mark and into the 50 mark, we start to notice the changes that are taking place. And with a grandmother that's turning 100 this year, there could be some good genetic plans for myself that I want to stay moving and healthy.
Exactly. So how did you, tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been in health and fitness for over 30 years. Yes, over 30 years. And with 3 children, and I've got a best-selling book called Naked Fitness with Vanguard Press, about 13 different fitness DVDs, Today Show, GMA, created a couple of television shows, all in that healthy lifestyle aspect. And being someone who's owned their own gym, trained people, helped people lose weight, lost weight myself, it's been a very exciting time to see the changes and the more awareness, but it's also been very disappointing to see that we're at 68% of the population overweight or obese. Even our pets are overweight. And with that in mind, we have to start taking more control of healthy lifestyle and dump the diet and think about moving and being active and making really conscious decisions about what we put into our body.
Exactly. I agree with you so much because so much of what we do now is online and we're sedentary. And I notice myself, I don't move as much as I used to. Honestly, I'm sitting there and I'm on the phone or I'm writing blogs or webinars or something like that. And so what I wanted to ask, because I think that the audience also wants to know, how can we incorporate some simple activities in our life?
And I think you hit the key right there. This is simple activities that take place throughout the day. In fact, there was a Northwestern cardiac study done over a 30-year period, and it said that people who were physically active were 5 years to 10 years living longer. Now let's talk about that activity because this was self-reported. They weren't reporting that they were in the gym for 3, 4, 5 days a week. They were reporting lifestyle activities like vacuuming, like golfing, like basketball, like taking a walk with their dog. And these type of activities, tracking them throughout the day, can really give us a better sense of what we're doing. It's no wonder we're doing research studies that 6 hours of sitting a day can kill you because we just aren't moving. And with the whole fitness activity trackers on the market, there is one for everyone out there, truly. Even the one that's Pavlok that will snap you on the wrist if you're sitting for more than 30 minutes at a time.
Really?
Yeah, it's about a $250 price point. It comes out later this year. I find it as something like the shake weight that people will buy for their friends to be funny because I really don't want to slap on the wrist to get walking.
But it alerts you that you need to move? That's interesting. Right. That's great.
There's over 170 apps on the market right now, most of them free, that will help you track your activity or track timing-wise. So you can set it for every 15 minutes to get up, get out of that chair.
That's perfect.
And that's all we need to do. That change in blood pressure, the pull on gravity, is enough to really help our hearts and our bodies be more healthy.
So talk a little bit more about that pull on gravity because I don't think people really understand what that means.
Well, when we're sitting in a chair for so many hours at a time, we're not getting that blood flow return from our legs. And most of us understand that when we're on an airplane because we feel the difference in the altitude. But just sitting in your chair during the day is something that can really change by just standing up, tapping your feet. There's treadmill desks that are made now. There are under the desk little pedal and rowers. But really what I think most people need is just to get up and to spark their stimulation of the outside world with some
Right.
fresh air,
Right.
it's probably one of the best things you can do.
Right. So that's really interesting because I know I find myself just sitting for hours and hours, and I know it's not good. I
Right.
know it's not good.
Well, here's another simple way. I call it the 10-minute before or after rule. You eat usually 3 times a day, and if you just do a 10-minute walk before or after each meal, you'll accumulate 30 to 60 minutes of exercise a day, which 30 minutes is what the American College of Sports Medicine recommends.
Right.
60 minutes for women's over 40. Remember, ladies, with our drop in changes in estrogen,
Right.
they are showing research that's telling us we need to be even more active.
Yes.
Kind of stinky. Get older, you gotta be more active.
Stinky's a good word. Yeah, kind of stinky. Well, it's interesting because I think that when we were growing up, we had PE and we had phys ed and we had all those things, and now suddenly you just kind of forget about that, and we are so focused on what we're doing that we forget. I mean, people don't eat lunch, they don't eat breakfast, they don't even take their vacation. So I think we're really out of balance.
I
What do
know
you think?
that latest statistic about people taking their vacation in the U.S. really surprised me,
Yeah,
because
me
I
too.
do try and take my time off in my
Yeah.
personal days. I feel it's important. I also think we need to start to change how we think about exercise, and let's go with what's showing on TV, like the Dancing with the Stars, getting out there and being active. And I'm not talking about crazy standing on your head, swinging from pipes kind of
Right.
athletics.
Right.
But again, that simple activities, even simple stretches, like moving your fingers, moving your hands, moving your ankles and toes. And that's not just for us older people. It's for everyone to really think about that movement. And we can't forget the other part, what we put into our mouths.
Exactly. And I think it's really interesting when I've done a lot of research on baby boomers, and baby boomers do not want to be called like our parents.
I don't want to be called a baby boomer, okay? I don't want to be a boomer.
What do you want to be?
I want to be like women our age.
Of a certain age?
No, not of a certain age. Women
Okay.
our age. Women our age don't do those foolish things and go out every night. Women our age know that if we have the money and we want to spend it on a new pair of shoes, we can do that without having to worry about eating Kraft macaroni and cheese. It is a privilege to get to this age, and we have to start accepting that.
Exactly.
And accepting our wrinkles and our curves and the changes of really loving your body.
Right.
And we're trying to do that throughout our lives as women. I feel more so than men. I mean, I love those commercials and the men's like, do these jeans make my butt look big? And we all laugh at it. But how many times as a female have you said that? Like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy these clothes.
Right.
So I think we need to start reframing how we think and accept the elder role of being a little bit wiser and how to do smarter exercise.
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't change my age for any other age that I've been. So I have to ask, what did you think of the Emmys last night?
Well, I did see a lot of people our age up there. They look stunning and beautiful and in shape. And I think that those are great leadership roles for us. And I did see some people who had more curves. And I thought, with the Emmys comes that aspirational that we can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we may not have a private chef, we may not have a personal trainer, or we may not have the luxury of having 6 to 8 weeks of not working at a time, we still have to make that decision to turn on our brains and start doing something.
Right.
And we talked a little bit about food, but I really want to talk a little deeper. Like, how many fruits and vegetables do you think you need a day?
How many do I need in helpings?
And servings of fruits and vegetables. We're putting Jan on the spot. Take the lead, girl.
20.
Well, that would be great, but I don't think...
10?
10. It's actually, the government says we need a minimum of 5. And when we get 7 to 9 servings, we cut our risk for heart attack, stroke, and cancer by 50%.
Say that again.
We cut our risk for cancer when we take in 7 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And the average American only has 2.
Wow.
So an apple a day really does keep the doctor away.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is. And so let's talk about the 4-3-2-1. I told you the 10 before and after for exercise. 4-3-2-1 means you have 4 servings at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 2 at dinner, and 1 throughout the day. And if you can focus on that, because again, we do want a bigger breakfast to start the day.
Right.
There's research that shows that a bigger breakfast not only starves off hunger and cravings throughout the day, your brain works better, but it also shows us that when we have a bigger breakfast, we're more likely to maintain our body weight and lose weight.
Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah. The study was a 1,400 calorie diet, 2 groups. One had a 700 calorie breakfast, 400 calorie lunch, and 300 calorie dinner. The other did the typical American diet with a 300 calorie breakfast, 400 calorie lunch, and 700 calorie dinner. And after 3 months' time, the group with the bigger breakfast, and everything else was the same, they had a regimen of exercise and 1,400 calories, lost on the average of 10 pounds more. So there's proof that's telling us that you really do need to have that big breakfast and get a lot of fruits and vegetables.
And to start to incorporate those fruits and vegetables, what is your favorite fruit?
Oh gosh, it's not about a favorite because I like so many. I say that there's probably 4 or 5 ones you should try and incorporate into your diet daily.
Okay.
Raspberries, very high in fiber and antioxidants, and any of the berries really, but raspberries have the most fiber.
Right.
Sweet potatoes.
Okay.
I also really like oats, whole grain oats. Now you're saying that's not really a fruit or vegetable, but it is a grain, and we need those. And people who eat more whole grain tend to have better body weights. I also like apples, quercetin in the peel, and we want you to eat the peel as well. And then I'd probably go with some type of cruciferous vegetable.
Okay.
Most people are going to say kale. I'd say broccoli. I'd say spinach.
I just can't do kale. I've tried so hard,
Yeah.
and I just, I have bruised kale. I just can't.
Curly
do kale.
Kale is interesting because it's probably best in a green juice, but then add a lot of apples, ginger, and carrots to get the sweet flavor. Otherwise, it tastes like grass.
It does.
But everyone's going to find something that they tend to lean into, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to experiment, get out there. Brussels sprouts are really hot right now.
Right.
Grilled cauliflower.
People think that kale is going to do it's really going to help them.
Oh, do you pull the green around from one side to the other?
Whoa.
It will help. Every fruit and vegetable will help your skin. Don't go away from that you can't have potatoes or bananas or carrots.
Right.
That theory is out. The
Right.
more fruits and vegetables you have, the more fiber you're getting in your diet, the more hydration, the more anti-inflammatories.
That was the last thing I wanted to talk about was hydration. I think that we don't understand how much we need to hydrate.
It is true. There are those silly stories of having a gallon of water flushes out your electrolytes, and that is true. However, most of us don't get a gallon of fluids a day.
Right.
And we should focus on alternating beverages with 0-calorie beverages like water, and I'll even say tea or coffee. If it's something that becomes a ritual for you, it's something that you really feel like you can do, I'd say do it. And I would lean away from the 0-calorie sweeteners in the sense of the diet sodas and get more into plain fresh water with a nice lemon or a nice cucumber. You have to train yourself. It doesn't come easy. I understand. I go into some of those drinks myself, but it's working on that continuum of health of always trying to do better.
Right. Great. Well, this has been a wealth of information. Let people know how they can get a hold of you, please.
Well, you can find me on AndreaMetcalf.com or a myriad places on the web, including womensforum.com. And I want you to take home those key points. The 10-minute before and after rule means get up and get moving before and after each meal. More fruits and vegetables into your diet, and please never skip breakfast.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Really great advice. Thanks so much. I'm going to round this up and thank Meat Advisors again for giving us the opportunity to bring you this information. Again, my name's Jan Marino, and you can check me out at highgainco.com and also look up meatadvisors.com. Thank you. See you again real soon.
Bye.